That he's a hypocrite. I'll tell you, I remember we shared a press conference once, and he said something like, I'm fighting in the main card and you're on the prelims. Now I'm thinking I have 2 belts. Where are you? Who the f is Paddy Pimblett right now? And why would he deserve to fight me right now? Honestly, if I could choose a fight, I would fight him because I hate him. He's a pain in the ass. I'd love to give that fight to the fans, because for a long time, I believe that in the UFC, you haven't seen a real fight. 2 people who really want to fight each other. And what better way than to fight in front of everyone and put on
a great one. But what excites me more is the fight with Paddy.
Really?
Yeah, that fight excites me even more.
What happened with you two? Because I saw the video where you guys are yelling at each other. Was it in a hotel or something?
Yeah, he said something about Georgia.
Oh, he said something about your country.
Yeah.
What did he say?
He said, like, now I understand why the Russians are bombing Georgia or something, like putting bombs in Georgia.
Whoa.
Like, bro.
Whoa.
Don't joke with that.
Yeah,
you can joke about me. Say whatever you want to say about me. Whatever. He's a mushroom. He is this. He is that. Don't talk about war because you don't know how is it.
Right. That's a crazy thing to say.
Don't say that.
Yeah. So that was the beginning of it. It just out of nowhere he said that?
He said that on Twitter.
Oh, wow.
Anyone who has followed this rivalry since the beginning knows it isn't just about promoting a fight. The bad blood runs deep. Everything escalated in London after a chaotic backstage confrontation where heated insults were exchanged and the situation nearly turned into a physical fight before security stepped in. Since that moment, neither fighter has let the conflict fade, taking jabs at each other in interviews, fueling the rivalry on social media, and leaving no doubt that their dislike for one another is completely genuine.
Moving up to 155, right?
Yeah, always.
And you guys have a long history.
Yeah.
That press conference 2 years ago was one of the most fucking entertaining press conferences of all time. Your chirps, like calling him like a fucking chorizo sausage and shit.
That's what he should have changed his name to.
It was funny.
He's changed his nickname to a shit nickname, hasn't he? Like Legend or something.
Yeah.
Should have changed it to El Chorizo. Would have been well funnier.
What do you make of his like involvement? Because that was a long time ago, and now he's kind of fucking leveled up like crazy,
he has,
right?
but we always knew he was a good fighter, know what I mean? Like, that's something what pisses me off about him. Even though I hate him and I think he's a bellend, like, I wouldn't lie and say he's a shit fighter, because he's not. But that's what he says about me. And it made me laugh when he said, what did he say? He called me fat. That's like, lad, you can't make your weight division anymore that you are champion of, and you're trying to call me fat. He's a midget, lad. He's tiny. He's smaller than Michael Chandler. You'll see what I do to Michael Chandler next Saturday night when I dismantle him, and it'll be a very similar game plan to beat Ilia. He's small. He walks forward, swinging shots. I'll kick him up and down the octagon, and I'll either knock him out or submit him. Like, that fight's there down the line. No, 100%. That fight's got to happen. That's a fight that you can have as a pay-per-view main event with no title on the line.
That gives me like chills just thinking about that. The press conferences and shit. That'd be crazy.
The press. They'd have to do a world tour for that, like they did with Aldo McGregor. That'd be fucking hilarious. Yeah, Ilia, you know, it's there anytime. Know what I mean? Anytime, lad.
It seems like they don't know what to do, because Ilia moved up. I don't know if Islam wants to fight him or not. So like he's looking for an opponent.
Yeah.
It seems like this fight is really going to decide a lot of stuff in that whole division.
We all weak, lad. He needs to sort his life out.
Shut up.
One thing that caught many fans off guard is that despite remaining undefeated, holding a championship, and competing against the top names in his weight class, Puria still hasn't moved on from Paddy. He's repeatedly said that their rivalry isn't finished and insists Paddy won't be able to avoid settling it. Looking at it objectively, that stance isn't surprising. Whether people support him or not, Paddy has a talent for attracting attention and keeping the spotlight on himself.
So big. To be honest, I forgot about him. I forgot all about him. Or I would have mentioned him in the cage. You know what I mean? I don't call him hand sanitizer boy anymore. He's now El Chorizo. But as I say, I literally forgot all about him. That's how relevant he is. I'm ranked higher than he is at lightweight. So, you know, I'd love to welcome him to 155. But apparently he's sitting out and waiting for the title shot. But, you know, that what I've just done to Chandler's half the blueprint to beating him. He's even more of a midget than Chandler is. Like, I'll do the exact same thing to Ilia than what I've done to Chandler.
You're like beefing with like Paddy the Baddie.
The quality of the fighter he is, man, come on, please. Don't even compare me to that boom, because we are on different levels and everyone can see that. It's very disrespectful to me, to my country, to all my people. And he said something. Now I understand why the Russians put the bombs in Georgia. When you start to joke about that kind of things, just make sure that we don't find each other anywhere, because I'm going to take your fucking head off. He wants to build his hype laughing at people. And that's not the way I'm looking to build a hype.
Every time Paddy steps into the cage, tickets sell quickly and the headlines follow. Topuria understands that a matchup between the two of them would be a massive pay-per-view attraction. Paddy, however, hasn't ignored the ongoing rivalry. Whenever he's asked about Topuria, he usually responds with a smile, joking that Topuria can't stop thinking about him. Even so, many fans are convinced that if the UFC officially announced the fight tomorrow, Paddy would accept the offer immediately. He's already brought up names like Dustin and Gaethje, showing he's willing to face the biggest challenges available.
He mentioned Gaethje. He mentioned Armin, that the fight that would really make sense. Can I get a drum roll? Ilia Topuria. These guys, the storyline is there, bro. They're both stars in the UFC. If I'm the UFC, I'm booking Justin Gaethje versus Islam, and then I think you do Ilia Topuria on that fight. Whoever comes out up top gets the next title shot.
You're absolutely right, Henry. If the UFC just like, hey, you know what, let's make the biggest fight we can in that division, because Paddy the Baddie is up there as far as fame right now in that division. I like it, Henry.
So you prefer the Ilia fight?
I like the Ilia fight, because if Justin Gaethje's fighting for the title, Dustin wants a retirement fight, Armin and Charles Oliveira are going to do that again. Hey, you hit the nail on the head. Guess what? Winner is ultra popular now and ready to challenge for that title.
I wish they would do that Topuria versus Paddy fight. I know it's different weight classes, but the beef's there.
I mean, just the levels are they're just so different.
Yeah.
And the UFC knows that. They're not
I feel
stupid.
like Paddy literally is way bigger than Ilia. I'm not saying he'd win or lose. I'm just saying it's crazy to think they're only one weight class difference, but he's way bigger.
Yeah, but if you saw Paddy on weight, close to weight, you'd be like, oh, he's not that huge.
I think you would be like, holy shit, these guys look way different. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
Just
Paddy's a big guy. Yeah, height.
The biggest question now is whether Paddy has what it takes to handle this latest version of Topuria, who has developed into one of the most dangerous fighters in the sport. That's where opinions begin to split. Some fans believe the matchup no longer makes sense, arguing that Ilia has reached a level where he should only face the highest-ranked challengers while defending his title. Others see it differently, saying this fight promises non-stop action and offers the perfect opportunity to finally settle a rivalry that's been fueled by years of heated exchanges.
You would question Ilia's fights. Everybody sit down and they do the same thing to me, but if you go look at Ilia's record, as impressive as it is, there's not a guy on that record who a primed Michael Chandler or a primed me wouldn't beat. And he started listing them off. He started listing off. You know, he got the jump on Max, but it was after Max just had a war with Gaethje. Or he went all the way back, talking about the night that Ilia became champion, knocking out Volkanovski. But that Volkanovski had been knocked out in his two previous fights. Or one previous fight was a knockout, but two were losses. You know, he did the math. He started breaking down the math where you have to sit back and think about it and go, okay, I guess that does matter. My mind doesn't generally work that way. I don't usually take a big body of work and then put that into an analysis, but it's a fair thing to do. And Paddy did it. And when Paddy did it, he laid out a pretty strong case. Either way, wherever you fall, I think at a minimum, what we can observe is happening here is MMA has a true rivalry. And there's just not a lot of them out there. I want John Jones and Tom Aspinall to have a rivalry, but they don't yet. They just don't. Not only do they not have a rivalry, they don't even have a contract. They don't even have a date. They haven't even agreed publicly to be fighting each other. I mean, do you see where this is different? And it's such an amazing shift in power. Ilia Topuria is now a bigger star than Paddy the Baddie. Do you want to fight me on that? Do you argue? Because it would be a good argument. Paddy brings an entire nation with him. Ilia brings an entire nation with him. I am giving the nod to Ilia because he's the champion and because his next fight is guaranteed to be main event. Because his last fight was a main event for the World Championship. Paddy has not yet headlined a pay-per-view. I don't know if that's the perfect math. But whether I'm right or I'm wrong, it still proves the same point that when these two met, nobody knew what Ilia Topuria was. I used to call him Mr. Hand Sanitizer because I couldn't pronounce his name. I didn't know if Ilia was a first name, last name, or nickname. I don't know if Topuria was a first name, last name, or nickname. And all these guys have done is gone out there and kicked butt. And I remember at the time, I remember backstage when this was going on, I remember Ilia puffing up to Paddy and really wanting something to go down right there. And I remember thinking, hey, Ilia, I was thinking about Ilia's team. Can control your goon. If your meaningless goon puts one hand on Paddy, who is a monetizable commodity.
Here's a fully rewritten version that keeps the original meaning while using fresh wording, structure, and has kept fans and the media interested for years. There's no need to manufacture excitement. The tension already exists. All that's left is for narration suitable for YouTube. It's easy to understand why so many people want this matchup. The rivalry is genuine. Both fighters have enormous followings, and the storyline has kept fans and the media interested for years. There's no need to manufacture excitement. The tension already exists. All that's left is for the cage door to close and for them to settle the score inside the octagon.